The obituary that I read to you about this young man, 18 years of age, that destroyed his life with an addiction. He had the attitude, I'm sure, my life I lived in the way I want to. Like the majority of teenagers, children today, without taking into consideration the effects it is going to have on anyone else. Because we're living in a selfish age. We're living in an age to where that I'm talking about America, because we can't visualize 2/3 of the world that's living in fear, in poverty and danger. It's possible we're going to share that kind of world with them in 2010 or 2010. Whenever we look toward tomorrow and understand that the signs are very clear. It's clear that we are moving in America toward a controlled society. We're moving in America to where that we are going to lose a lot of our freedoms that some of us older people have had the privilege of having all these years. We're moving in a future that is very dark and bleak. According to our government, there are several thousand trained Al-Qaeda cells here in the United States of America that are willing to give their life to destroy themselves, to bring hurt and destruction on the United States of America. How could a 23-year-old individual that has received an education at some of the finest universities in the world, that had a future of luxury before him, how could he possibly be indoctrinated into a feudalistic doctrine that would cause him to be willing to destroy his life along with 300 plus lives simply because that he believed that Ishmael's descendants are going to control the earth. They say that it was an attempted terrorist act. It was not an attempted terrorist act, it was a successful terrorist act. Well, it didn't bring the airplane down, it didn't cause nearly 300 people to perish, plus what could have been destroyed on the earth, but it did result in the effect that they were trying to produce in the United States, and that's fear and panic. Now, whenever we look at the Bible, and the Bible said that it's going to be a day of confusion, a day of darkness, a day of gloominess, and a day of cloudiness. And our homeland security that we have spent, they said, over $70 billion to secure us. They came up with, you can't have a blanket over your lap. You can't go to the toilet for the last hour of that flight. You can't sit there and look on the TV screen and find out how close you are to the land surface of America. I didn't know we were stupider than a lot of Ethiopian Africans that are determined to destroy us. But if you tell everybody you got to turn off all of these things and you got to remove your blanket, you can't go to the toilet because we are 1 hour from. Isn't that amazing? Who thought of that kind of ignorance and nonsense? I'll tell you a short story. Whenever my wife and I in 1985, we were in the communistic countries, and we'd been through Hungary, and we were in Czechoslovakia, and we got on a train and got on the train, wrong train. We got on one that was terminating in East Berlin instead of West Berlin. And we had a cabin in this train that was supposed to be the most modern, and it was built at least in the 18th, maybe early 19th century. 2 engineers and in the cabin with us, and whenever they found out that we were illegal, we didn't have our visa, and I won't go through the long story with you, but they said that we had to go into East Berlin into a holding center because we were illegal aliens. I got a map, and I began to ride off over the night. We were on the train 20-some-odd hours. And I began to scratch off the towns, and one of them asked me, said, well, what are you doing? There was a new airport and train station about 13 kilometers outside of East Berlin, the Berlin Wall. And I said, we're going to get off there. They said, you can't. You got to. I didn't know what I was going to do when we got off there. It's a long story, but I kept riding off. And the closer we got, the more they insisted that we couldn't get off. But I could see the signs. And whenever I realized we were at the town next to the next stop, I started getting the suitcases out and making preparation. Do you think that an airplane coming into continental United States, the pilot said, now you got to remove all the blankets off your lap, you can't go to the toilet because we're 1 hour from land? We're not dealing with ignorant people. We're not dealing with the people that can't find their way to the post office. We're dealing with university and college educated people. This young man had a postgraduate degree in engineering. He was well able to tell 60 minutes, and we're going to be over land surface. He didn't need the little monitor in his seat. He didn't need anything else except for the pilot to say, you got 1 hour of preparation. Now, we are going to have to stand in longer lines and go through invasive body scans. We don't have the knowledge of even Steve Hoffman sitting there out at that prison at Coalinga, because they're going to sound a little crude, but Steve can verify it or not. But these people in prison, they will implant in their extreme cavities enough drugs, if that balloon broke, it could kill 10 of them.